They tried to steal an election. That's the accusation in Troy, New York, over absentee ballots allegedly faked in the primary there last month. We've investigated absentee ballot fraud across the country, from acorn workers convicted of faking voter registration forms to the alleged selling of absentee ballots in Alabama. Well, now we've met voters who told us they never filled out absentee ballots that were counted as real votes in the primary last month. And it says you were at a work conference in Boston. Were you in Boston?
No.
You were right here in Troy?
I was right here in Troy, in this very house, actually.
So you didn't write that?
I did not.
You didn't cast a ballot?
I did not.
Did you vote?
No.
But they have your vote at the Board of Elections.
They do.
Did you fill out an absentee ballot?
Nope.
Did you fill out an absentee ballot application?
Nope, I didn't fill out any of those.
So your vote was a fraud?
It was.
Well, who did it and why? Joining us now are Bob Mirch. He's the Republican Majority Leader of the county legislature who uncovered the alleged fraud, and Troy City Democratic Chairman Frank LaPosta. Both gentlemen, thank you for coming down from Troy here this morning.
Thank you very much.
Bob, let me first start with you. What happened?
Well, it's very clear, Eric, that the Democrats in the city of Troy, elected officials, party officials, and party officials in the Working Families Party went out and committed felony crimes in order to win an election. They stole the election.
Well, how did they do that?
They went out, committed forgery. There was sworn testimony in court that the president of the city council, Clem Campana, instructed a husband to sign his wife's name to the absentee envelope, which the husband did, but Clem Campana never gave him the ballot.
All right, well, he's not here. Mr. Campana's not here to comment, so let me ask the major point. You've got the Democratic Party. You've got the Working Families Party, which is a third party here in New York State. If you can put them together on the ballot in November, that means that more votes. Hillary Clinton got 5% of her last Senate race from the Working Families Party. So, Bob, you're saying that this was a fraud to try and elect Democrats?
It was an absolute fraud. Very clearly, both parties working together, elected a Democratic officials, and had they gotten away with it, they could have definitely affected the elections.
Frank, what do you think about this? You're the Democrat?
Yes. Well, Eric, as I said before, it's a group of rogue Democrats who, for some unknown reason, went out and allegedly committed this fraud. As I've said before, it was not sanctioned by the city Democratic Party, nor would it be. We're totally against this kind of behavior, and we're very disappointed in whoever did it.
You've run for mayor of Troy yourself, and there's a special prosecutor who's now been appointed. 38 of these ballots, by the way, have been thrown out by the judge in that case. So, Frank, the chairman of the Democratic County Committee told me, Tom Wade, he's blaming Bob over there. He's saying the Republicans should also be investigated. Do you think this is more widespread? What's your fear about this, Frank?
Well, let me just say, they've uncovered 38 or so absentee ballots that they're challenging. My position from the very beginning is total opposition to any kind of behavior like this. This is not, again, what we stand for, and the Democratic City Party will not tolerate this kind of behavior. So I don't know where Mr. Wade stands on the issue, but for me, this is very discouraging, very disappointing, and doesn't represent our party in the city of Troy.
Bob, you've been in politics for 40 years. I mean, how easy is it, not just maybe in Troy if it did happen that way, but across the country to forge absentee ballots for some politician to sign a name in and just send it in and not get caught?
Well, I guess it's simple enough to do. I think forgery is a very serious crime. I've heard about it. I certainly wouldn't do it. I wouldn't entertain it. What I do know is that the investigation has begun. I sat with state police, New York State Police investigators for 4 hours on Wednesday. So I'm confident that at the end of this, somebody's going to jail.
And the state police and Special Prosecutor Trey Smith has not commented about this. Mr. Smith is a former prosecutor. So where could all this lead, Bob?
Well, when it's all said and done, when we finally get to court, and there's more that we don't know about this story, I'm confident that at the very end that there will be people going to jail or prison. You know,
Frank, everyone trusts the system. We all want integrity in elections. You've been around a long time, and you've run yourself. What does this do, these type of allegations, do to the election process and to our belief in having fair, honest elections, fair and square?
Well, it certainly casts a shadow over the election coming up in November, and that's sad for the good candidates that we have on our ballot for judge and for county legislature. It's just not something that we can stand for in this country. Hopefully people get to the bottom of this. But as I've stressed many times before and talked to many people, it's a small group. It doesn't represent the entire Democratic Party in Rensselaer County.
Well, there is an investigation now ongoing. A judge had that hearing. 38 ballots have been thrown out. And we'll see where this investigation goes, and we will stay with it here at the Fox News Channel. Bob Mirch, who helped lead off this investigation, we thank you for joining us, and Frank LaPosta, the Democrat chairman of the city of Troy. Thank you both for joining us about this Sunday morning.
Thank you very much.
Jamie?
Well, there's